Everybody wants to live, excuse me, in a more perfect world, a better world, a world where everybody gets along, the perfect society. Unfortunately, there is no perfect society. We've had many people advocate that. You can go as far back, or even before, Plato, who wrote the Republic, which was an ideal society. You had different Sumerians looked back in time to an ideal founding of their civilization. Thomas More wrote Utopia, where we get the word utopia, which was an idealized society. In our founding documents, the words, in order to form a more perfect union, were written down. And every government set up, and governments are set up by people in order to get along better, so people can wake up every day and feel better and more secure, and that's government's first duty, is to protect its citizens. And when government or whatever, whoever is in charge, fails in that, things don't go well, because once the citizens lose confidence in the government, then that government is not long going to be around, and that's been proven over and over again. But and I guess it's human. Re-quoting or rethinking about the Republic or Utopia, Karl Marx wrote, communism basically is an attempt to form a perfect idealized society. Fascism was really a perfect idealized society for a certain group of people, and it always is a certain group of people. I mentioned the other day that after the last two world wars, one and two, Western civilization has made attempts to make the world totally safe and make the rest of the world conform to their idea, our idea of an idealized society. But I think the founders of this country, the United States, and yes, they wrote in order to form a more perfect society, but they were really aware that people are not perfect, and that people, you have to take, and this goes all the way back to Aristotle, you have to take people as they are and work with people as they are. And these attempts to make everything perfect usually have very bad outcomes. The Soviet Union killed millions, way more than the fascists did in Germany, of people, and Mao Zedong killed millions more in order to form a more perfect society. We have people in this country who will go to any lengths, blood, or they'll lie, cheat, steal, whatever is necessary in their eyes to form a perfect society, according to them. But people, in order to live together, have to trust one another. And if you can't trust one another, and if you know one side or one group, if you can't come together, and then one side finally realizes that the other side is always going to lie, then that's going to lead to dreadful outcomes. Right now I'm reading a book I believe came out in the 1960s. It's called The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, about the rise of the Nazis in Germany. And right now I'm at the point where they have completely dismantled Czechoslovakia. That's 600 pages into the book. But the amazing thing is, and I'm an older guy and I've read about this for many, many, many years, is that several times this could have been stopped. If people, Germans included, and there were Germans who thought about trying to stop it, if people had just stopped, stepped back, and looked and listened, there were many moments where the whole thing could have been stopped. And there's no doubt that Adolf and company really felt like they were going to create the perfect place on earth for them and others like them. And that's part of the problem of founding a perfect society, is usually then people get nuts and they go off on a tangent and they don't care how many people they kill in order to do that. And it's just dumbfounding to me sometimes, just the idiocy of the human race. And I guess I've got to stop. It's just insane.